Hi, my name is Jeff Nissani. I'm the owner of JSN Properties commercial real estate brokerage. This is video 2 in our series, and in this video I wanted to discuss good guy guarantees. Now, good guy guarantees are really misunderstood, and unfortunately a lot of beginning brokers, they tell their clients that the good guy guarantee is to their benefit. The truth is, it is not at all. It is to the landlord's benefit. The reason I think a lot of brokers say that is because typically there is some form of a guarantee that's signed with respect to commercial leases, and the good guy guarantee tends to be the softest and easiest on the tenant. So I think somehow in the mix, a lot of beginning brokers just think that it benefits the tenant. It doesn't. It's just the lesser of all evils when it comes to signing guarantees. Now, that being said, not everyone signs a guarantee on a commercial lease. The exemptions typically tend to be public companies and not-for-profits. The reason being is that public companies don't have one person that can be held liable, so no one would be willing to sign as a good guy guarantor for a lease for a public company. Now, with not-for-profits, they tend to have large boards. And again, there's no one person that typically is willing to be held liable. I have seen situations where a landlord insisted that even for a not-for-profit that someone sign a good guy guarantee. Sometimes that killed the deal. Sometimes a not-for-profit wanted the space enough that they actually convinced someone on the board to sign it, and that they did. I don't think it's a great idea. I don't recommend it, but it happens. That being said, the other forms of guarantee are, let's say, full personal guarantees. I will say, as a blanket statement, do not ever, ever, ever agree to a lease with a full personal guarantee. You never know in business what can happen, and the last thing you want is to sign a 10-year lease and things don't go well for your company and the landlord be able to come after you for the remaining balance of rent on your lease. That being said, the most common form is the good guy guarantee, and there are quite a few different kinds of good guy guarantees. It depends on how they're drafted by your attorney. I would recommend this one type of good guy guarantee because there is an easy out. Now, I'll explain the good guy guarantee. Let's say you have a 5-year lease, and in year 2, things are not going well, the corporate entity is not paying rent. The landlord then reserves the right to come after whoever signs the good guy guarantee personally. So if your corporate entity is no longer paying rent, the landlord can knock on that person's door personally and say, okay, you now owe me the rent. Now, the reason that shouldn't be so terrifying is because there's an out for the type of good guy guarantee that I'm going to talk to you about. The out is dependent on satisfying 3 conditions. These are the 3 conditions. 1, let's say again you're in a 5-year lease and it's year 2 and you're no longer able to pay the rent. So the condition is that you must be current with your rent up until the day that you choose to leave. That's 1. 2, that you provide the space broom clean. So you can't exit your lease and still leave all of your furniture and all of your elements in your space. You need to move out and leave everything broom clean. The 3rd condition is that you hand over the keys. Now, with the good guy guarantee that I'm discussing, provided that you satisfy those 3 simple conditions, you will then be released from the good guy guarantee, and the landlord can no longer come after you personally. Now, keep in mind, the landlord can still come after the corporate entity. However, assuming that you're in this scenario, you're probably filing for bankruptcy, and there's nothing to come after in the corporate entity anyway. So, if you satisfy those conditions, you're let off the hook of the lease. The worst component is that you forfeit your security deposit. However, I'd say that's a small price to pay if you're going to get off of a long-term liability. That's what I recommend you discuss with your attorney. I do not recommend anyone ever sign a lease without using an attorney, especially in New York. And even if you see a lease where it's stipulated at the top that it says good guy guarantee, In the first round of comments, a lot of landlords draft the good guy guarantee to really sound like a full personal guarantee. So have your attorney review it and make comments, and when your attorney says it's okay to sign, then sign. I hope you found that really informative. If you ever have questions, you can always call me at my office at 212-929-8390. It was a pleasure doing this video for you, and I sincerely hope it helps. Thank you.